Hi everyone, I am Rahul. So today I am going to solve one of the lead code problems called as container with most water. So it's a medium level problem with a high number of likes. So it looks like the problem is a popular one. So let's go through this problem once. Given n non-negative integers a1, a2 up to an, where each represents a point at coordinate I, a, ai, n vertical lines are drawn such that the two endpoints of a line I is at I, ai and I0. Find two lines which together with the x-axis forms a container such that the container contains the most water. Notice that you may not slant the container, okay? So basically we are given an array and where each element in the array represents a line of that much height. So 1 is representing a line of height 1, 8 is representing a line which has a height of 8. Similarly, all the other elements represent their heights. So we have to find basically the maximum water that can be possible between any two lines, right? So the water that can be accumulated between two two indices basically would be the distance between those two lines. So if this line is at index I and this line is at index j, then the distance between them would be j minus I, this distance, and the height of the water would be the minimum length among these two. So this has a height of 8 and this has a height of 7. So minimum of 8 and 7 is 7. So height of water that can be present between these two lines would be 7, which is this length, and the distance between them would be j minus I. So it's basically a rectangle where the length of the rectangle would be the distance between the lines and the breadth of the rectangle would be the minimum height among those two indices. So if we go by a brute force approach in this, so what we can do is we can run two loops, and for each iteration of a loop, like we would be having two indices with us, and for those two indices I and j, we can calculate the distance between those two indices, which would be j minus I, which would be this one, and the height of the water that can be accumulated between those two indices would be the minimum length among ith and jth index correspondingly. So I guess like to find all such possible I and j pairs, the complexity would come out to be O of n square. Let's think of a better solution than this. So in this, like I guess the basic approach that like a person can come up with is like the maximum water that can be accumulated would be when we consider the first index and the last index, right? So in that case, the distance between those two indexes would be maximum. So the distance would be this one, this length, and the height between them would be height of the water that can be accumulated would be the minimum height among the first index and the last index. So let's try to implement this approach. So we can maintain two pointers basically, or two indices. The first index is starting from 0th index and the last index is starting from right. So we are basically implementing the two pointer approach in this. So we will start with the two indices, the one starting from the starting of the array and the other starting from the last of the array, and we will keep incrementing I or decrementing j based on some conditions. We can maintain one variable which will be initialized to 0 and one variable, suppose difference. So we can run over one loop. We will run over this loop till I is less than j. So the length of the rectangle of the water that would be formed, it would be, suppose difference variable which is maintaining this, so it would be minimum of, so the difference variable is basically maintaining uh, the minimum height among ith and jth index correspondingly. So height of I, height of j, and we can make one comparison. If answer is less than the answer possible when we consider I and j indexes, so in this case the area of water would be I star j, it is the length of the rectangle, sorry, j minus I, j minus I is the length of the rectangle. Height of the rectangle that is formed is minimum height, which is difference, which we have calculated above. If the answer value is less than this, then we can update the answer variable. And now whether we should increment I or decrement j depends on some condition. So the condition goes like this. So if the height of ith index is less than the height at jth index, so in that case we can increment I, otherwise we can decrement j. So this why are we doing this? So in this case we will start from this I equal to like height of I would be 1 and height of j would be 7. So we will calculate firstly this length would be j minus I, and difference variable would have value as 1 because it's the minimum among 1 and 7. So now this if loop is executed and the answer value is correspondingly updated. Now we check if the height at ith index is less than the height at jth index. So 1 is obviously less than 7, then we increment I. So we are doing this because we know from our intuition that the maximum water that would be accumulated between those two indices which have the like considerable higher height. So if the ith index is having a smaller height, then we need to increment I, else we are decrementing j. Finally we will return answer variable. We need to write the minimum function here because we have defined it. We will write a ternary operator. If a is less than b, return b, else return b, let's return a. Diff value is calculated, and this, let's try to submit it. Compilation error, okay. Height size minus 1. Okay. Yeah, so the solution looks good and it is also faster than 90% of the online submissions. Yeah, so these type of problems are also asked in the interviews, where like the interviewer is trying to basically check if like apart from knowing the basic data structures like stacks, queues, BFS, DFS, like the person is like know the basic concepts of the programming or not. So this question basically doesn't involves any of the data structure as such apart from the array, but here we have just used one greedy approach and some basic logic. So these types of problems also needs to be practiced when you are going for the interviews. So keep practicing these kind of questions as well when you are preparing for your tech coding interviews. So thank you guys.